Move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
2 Men in a Truck.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. In addition to our pasture mowing and tractor services, including zero-turn mowers for your fence line finish, we also offer rototilling and fence row spraying. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Gene, Gene, at yahoo.com, 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
There's a staycation right here in town. It's Super 8 Motel Ocala, right down the road on 40, just west of I-75. And they're pet friendly. Have truck parking, free breakfast,
Yum, yum.
a swimming pool, a kiddie pool, and veterans get 10% off. It's a staycation at Super 8 Ocala. Call today, Super 8 Ocala, at 352-629-8794. Again, 352-629-8794.
WOCA.
Ocala.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine today with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm and a high of 88 to 92. Cloudy and humid tonight, lows 76 to 78. Then Wednesday will be mostly cloudy and humid with a couple of showers in the afternoon and a high of 89 to 91. Humid on Thursday, very cloudy. Look for a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon and a high of 88 to 92. Thunderstorm around Friday afternoon as well, high 88 to 92.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
WOCA, putting the local back into radio.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to. Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Have been misunderstood. I know you
And good morning. You're listening to AIM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source, broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall. We are streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. Happy Hump Day Wednesday, October 7th. I'm your host, Adam Mickulin, as we say good morning to you. Another froggy one. Boy, oh boy. A lot of humidity in the air, and the temperature's just right for it. Be careful out there today, as I know there's so much more traffic on the roads nowadays with everything kind of getting back to that normalcy or whatever. And with mornings like this, with all that fog, do be careful, as visibility is not so good right now, but they're expecting that to possibly lift and break maybe around 10. Yesterday, it didn't really happen until about 11 a.m., but as of right now, 75 degrees this morning, 7:42. As we welcome you to the show, AIM Ocala Live, we got a good one for you lined up today. As we say good morning, it's Wednesday, making our way halfway through the work week, and it'll be downhill from here, hopefully, as we're discussing a little bit of the weather outside right now. As we mentioned, 75 degrees, 100% humidity for today. Is the chance for a slight shower or thunderstorm between noon and 1 p.m. And with that in mind, too, the chance of showers and thunderstorms after 1 p.m. is about a 40% chance nonetheless. So as there is a chance of all that, that bleeds into tonight with a chance of showers and thunderstorms even before 8 p.m. Just a 20% chance, though, tonight. 73 for the low. And then Thursday brings us another chance for 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly between the earlier parts of the day with 10 a.m. and then in the afternoon, maybe near 5 p.m. And again, the idea of patchy fog tomorrow before 9 a.m. So like we said, temperature and dew point just right in the idea of that, as though it's going to be mostly sunny tomorrow, as they're calling mostly cloudy today. So that's a little bit of your difference there. But with the idea of what's going to happen for the rest of the week, as we have a 40% chance for showers and thunderstorms Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and all highs in the upper 80s, close to 90. So still very warm with everything else with that tropical weather that's kind of moving its way up from the south, southeast, southwest, as that brings in and segues the conversation, as we know now Hurricane Delta, as it made landfall as Category 2 hurricane along the Yucatan Peninsula, and as Delta made landfall as a Category 2 hurricane along the northeastern coast of the Yucatan Peninsula near Puerto Morelos, as the early Wednesday morning, this storm is expected to target parts of the Gulf Coast later this week. So with that in mind, the estimated winds peaked at 145 miles per hour Tuesday evening. The NOAA Hurricane Hunters missions found that Delta's winds were at 110 miles per hour at windfall Wednesday morning. So extremely dangerous conditions are expected to impact right now the Yucatan Peninsula, including the dangerous storm surge, heavy rainfall, and strong winds, as that hurricane warning is in place for everything with the including the city of Cancun and all that. So tropical storm warnings in effect for the Isle of Youth and western Cuba as well. Now, a major hurricane hasn't struck that peninsula since 2007, and in 2005, they say Hurricane Wilma lashed through Cozumel and Cancun with 130-mile-an-hour winds. This comes on the heels of Tropical Storm Gamma that lashed parts of the Yucatan just a week before. Yikes. As leading up to the landfall in Mexico, Hurricane Delta is rapidly intensified, as taking advantage of the warm waters and going from tropical storm to major hurricane, as now in the last 24 hours is a Category 3 storm. After moving through the Caribbean, it's expected to enter the Gulf and turn northward. And after weakening a bit as it does make the landfall here with Mexico's Yucatan, it will strengthen again with the threat of dangerous storm surge, flooding rain, and even strong wind that's expected for the Gulf Coast. Now, residents along the Gulf Coast, anywhere from, they say, East Texas to even the Florida Panhandle, should continue to monitor the forecast and prepare for the possibility of landfall hurricane later this week, as it's It's like we said, intensified Category 3 storm, which is very heavy. Now, even though spaghetti models are in good agreement about Delta's path into the Gulf of Mexico, there's still a high amount of uncertainty about the eventual track and the intensity as it gets closer to the Gulf Coast. Now, the National Hurricane Center points out that the average track error for 4 days out is still about 150 miles. And Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards declared a state of emergency already for Louisiana, as was mentioned yesterday, for Tuesday, knowing that the track models are predominantly set for what looks like to impact the shores in the state of Louisiana. And already saying, quote, "Today I declared a state of emergency in advance of Hurricane Delta, which is forecast to make landfall in South Louisiana on Friday or Saturday." That coming yesterday afternoon, October 6th, from John Bel Edwards, the governor of Louisiana. And again, it's record-breaking. The Atlanta hurricane season has already exceeded forecast expectations, and it's only early October, they say. We've made it through the entirety of the Atlantic names, breaking many records of early name storms. And like we mentioned now on the Greek alphabet, as we've crossed now Alpha, Beta, Gamma, and now with Delta off the list, the earliest times on record for those names in the Greek alphabet. So a lot going on there. And with that in mind, too, it's only the second time Atlantic hurricane season has dipped into the Greek alphabet, by the way, with Zeta as what they did with the last one in 2005. But like we said, just a lot going on there right now for the expectations of what this storm could end up doing as it makes its way into the Gulf for today and into tomorrow, with where they're calling for the storm to be tomorrow afternoon is where the intensifying additions happen, from anything from Thursday afternoon to even Friday afternoon, becoming maybe even projected from Category 3 to even Category 4. And maybe hopefully a little weakening before it impacts the coastline, which right now the spaghetti models are set for the majority of the coastline of Louisiana. But we know that could change just a little bit in the next coming days as more things move along. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, keeping you a little informed here at WOCA The Source as we wake you up this morning as Wednesday, October 7th, moving right along for this month of October. And with doing so, it is now, as we're moving on here, 7:48. It is now time for your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. Quick Minute News. Now, the period to register to vote in Florida in the November 3rd election is now over. As announced by Governor Ron DeSantis, as the state provided extra time to sign up yesterday to make up for Florida's online voter registration system crashing the day before.
So providing as many opportunities as possible and also providing the similar time frame from when we were experiencing the difficulties yesterday.
As Secretary of State Laurel Lee says, there will be an investigation to ensure that the crash was not a deliberate act against the voting process. As Orange County's sheriff is extremely concerned about a new order issued by State Attorney Armas Ayala, as said yesterday, those accused of resisting arrest without violence can now be entered into a diversion program to get charges dismissed. As Sheriff John Mina says, the new directive could cause confusion, as he wishes Ayala, as he talked to him before, about announcing it. A stretch of road in the northeast Miami-Dade County after slain teen Trevion Martin, northeast 16th Avenue between Ives Dairy Road and northeast 209th, will now be called Trevion Martin Avenue. Neighborhood watchman George Zimmerman was accused after the fatal shooting Martin back in 2012. As mentioned, Governor Ron DeSantis says Panhandle residents need to keep an eye on Hurricane Delta.
If you're in Northwest Florida, we want you to continue to take a look at it. The rest of Florida looks like it's not going to be any type of threat. It's been moving further west, and so if that track holds, then you'd probably see modest impacts in places like Pensacola.
As the Category 3 storm is expected to weaken before coming ashore when it does impact the Gulf Coast. There are more than 2,200 new coronavirus cases in Florida. The Department of Health is also reporting 55 additional deaths. In sports, the Lakers held off the Heat in the fourth quarter of a 102-96 win in Game 4 of the NBA Finals in Orlando. LeBron James piled up 28 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists for the Lakers, which now takes a commanding 3-1 series lead. But Heat center Bam Adebayo says they're not giving up just yet.
Our backs are against the wall. It's not like it's never been done before. And, we still got hope. We still going to fight to the end, start to finish.
As Game 5 is Friday night. The Tampa Bay Rays hit 4 homers in a 7-5 win over the New York Yankees in San Diego to even the American League Division Series at 1 game apiece. The Miami Marlins, however, dropped Game 1 of the NLDS to the Atlanta Braves. For your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. The Source. We're going to take a short little break, and we'll be back with more AM Ocala Live. Good morning, everybody.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
2 Men in a Truck.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. In addition to our pasture mowing and tractor services, including zero-turn mowers for your fence line finish, we also offer rototilling and fence row spraying. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Gene, Gene, at yahoo.com, 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
When it really counts, depend on the Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
There's a staycation right here in town. It's Super 8 Motel Ocala, right down the road on 40, just west of I-75. And they're pet friendly. Have truck parking. Free breakfast.
Yum, yum.
A swimming pool. A kiddie pool. And veterans get 10% off. It's a staycation at Super 8 Ocala. Call today, Super 8 Ocala at 352-629-8794. Again, 352-629-8794.
WOCA.
Ocala.
When it really counts, depend on the Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine today with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm and a high of 88 to 92. Cloudy and humid tonight, lows 76 to 78. Then Wednesday will be mostly cloudy and humid with a couple of showers in the afternoon and a high of 89 to 91. Humid on Thursday, very cloudy. Look for a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon and a high of 88 to 92. Thunderstorm around Friday afternoon as well, high 88 to 92.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
back to the show. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM The Source. As we say good morning to you. A little foggy out there, 75 degrees. Be careful on the drive into work because visibility is a little bit low, just like it was yesterday there. As hopefully that'll burn off around 10:30, 11 o'clock today. Bring us a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, maybe for the afternoon. We shall see. As that continues on, and a high today, 89, almost 90 degrees with lots of humidity. It's going to be a warm one today, that's for sure. Nonetheless, as we mentioned just a little bit with the idea of, turning the corner coronavirus, trying to keep you up to date on the idea of what it means come later for certain ideas like traveling and vacationing and certain things that come along with more information that gets brought up about what's next for certain entities or industries. For example, we mentioned that the no sail order that was brought up for cruise lines, as it was mentioned that even Carnival Cruise pretty much postpone the rest of the 2020 season, is looking at 2021. Well, now, as mentioned, some of the bigger ones, as Royal Caribbean, Norwegian now canceled their cruises through November past the CDC's no-sail order. It says on the heels of the CDC's no-sail order extension, now Royal Caribbean Group and Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings have canceled sailings through November, a month past the order's operation and expiration date. It says the Royal Caribbean Group, which is the parent company to the cruise lines, including flagship Royal Caribbean International, Celebrity Cruises, and so forth, announced that it's suspending the operations through even November 30th, with the outlook of what comes on for the rest of the year for December to not look good as such. There was no expectation to cancellation. Cruises in Hong Kong are not canceled in November, as they mentioned, but the Celebrity cruise lines have canceled additional sailings as Celebrity Cruises suspended its fall 2021 winter program in Australia and Asia. Likewise, and canceled 2021 winter sailings in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and South America, according to the release. Kind of comes as no shock to the idea, but now Norwegian Cruise Line's parent company, which also owns Oceania Cruises and Regent Seven Seas Cruises, announced Monday that it's suspending all cruise lines through at least November 30th. Norwegian Holdings says in its new release that it will continue to work in tandem with the global government, public health authorities, and its Healthy Sail panel experts and advisors to take all necessary measures to protect against its guests, crews, and communities visited. It advised guests with reservations of any of its cruise lines to contact Norwegian or travel agents for more details. Norwegian and Royal Caribbean aren't the only major cruise line companies to cancel cruises beyond the restart date on October 1st. As we mentioned, Carnival Cruise Line announced it's scrubbing all the remaining 2020 cruises, except for those sailing out of its home ports here in Florida. In the idea of everything else, with the CDC, or Center for Disease Control and Prevention, requested that its no-sail order that was actually put in place way back at the beginnings of March says the extension or ordered to be extended or looking to extend it to at least February 15th of 2021, but compromised with the White House Coronavirus Task Force to let it run out October 31st, 4 days before the November election. A person familiar with the situation but not authorized to speak publicly told USA Today September 29th, one day before the order had set to expire, that the CDC originally suspended cruising in U.S. waters beginning in mid-March and has been extended it multiple times. And now last month, Cruise Lines International Association and the trade group that represents 95% of the world's ongoing or ocean-going passenger ships unveiled a list of the mandatory health and safety changes that will be implemented, designed to make it safe to sail during this COVID-19 pandemic, ideally with it phased in the U.S. to start before the end of the year, however, might not start until 2021. So there you go. Overall, just a little bit more in the idea of what you can't do. More AM Ocala Live back after this.
Was necessary at the time.
The president on Twitter writes he's looking forward to the debate in Miami. Also tweeting he wants all Russia probe documents declassified with no redactions.
Notes written by former CIA Director John Brennan after he briefed then-President Obama read in one summarized part, quote, alleged approved by Hillary Clinton a proposal from one of her foreign policy advisors to vilify Donald Trump by stirring up a scandal claiming interference by the Russian security service. Brennan calling the release of the documents a political move.
Fox's Marianne Rafferty. America's listening to Fox
News. Wouldn't it be great if everything came with more? Like if your new computer came with unlimited tech support. When you choose a Medicare plan from United Healthcare, you get more. Like plans that have dental and vision coverage, plus hearing coverage. Call United Healthcare at 1-800-364-1360 to get Medicare with more. Remember, Medicare annual enrollment ends December 7th.
Benefits and availability may vary by plan and location. More plans based on a year-over-year comparison of United Healthcare plans.
An important message from Medicare.
You know how Medicare plans can change from year to year?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this coming year, premiums are at historic lows.
Really?
Yeah, and hundreds of plans will have insulin for just $35 a month.
That will save some money. Can't wait to look at my plan choices for 2021.
Open enrollment begins October 15th and ends December 7th.
Comparing plans really pays.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Paddock Mall Studios. This is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Today in Ag News from the Southeast AgNet, the process the EPA uses for evaluating potential for health and ecological effects of a pesticide is called risk assessment. Well, EPA Administrator Andrew Wheeler discusses what the agency is doing about pesticides and their efforts for agriculture moving ahead.
As a holistic approach on pesticides is one of our 5 priorities for the second term. I'm sure your listeners are tired as I am of seeing these commercials on TV from trial lawyers attacking a pesticide by pesticide basis, running ads with a lot of misinformation, trying to scare people into calling them and so forth. And what I don't think the American public understands, because that's what they base pesticides on, are these one-off commercials, one-off news articles. We have a very comprehensive approach to when we regulate a pesticide. When a manufacturer reaches out to us to register a pesticide for use by farmers and the agriculture community, we do a lot of research. We look at the science behind it. We look not just at the science of the pesticide itself, but once it's applied, how it's applied, safety factors for the applicators. We look at what the issue may be to the environment after it's been applied. And what we need to do is a better job of explaining to the American public our holistic approach to pesticide regulation so that people have more of a comfort and understanding on how these decisions are made.
To learn more about EPA's work in pesticides, go to our website, southeastagnet.com. Citrus matters to Florida, its growers, its neighbors, and the state's economy. So tune in Friday, October 9th at 12 noon for live coverage of USDA's annual citrus crop forecast. Join us on this station or online at citrusindustry.net. The annual citrus crop forecast is sponsored by Aerobotics, Farm Credit of Florida, Labor Solutions, Orange X, and Trademark Nitrogen Corporation. Don't miss the annual citrus crop forecast live this Friday, October 9th, 12 noon. Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
WOCA, putting the local back into radio.
The NFL alumni is sponsoring a Clay for Kids sporting event to benefit Champions for Champions. The event will take place at the Robinson Ranch in Inglis, Florida on Saturday, October 24th. Call 866-996-2182 for details. The NFL alumni will provide gift bags, breakfast, lunch, and prizes. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Clay for Kids. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Hosted by the NFL alumni.
WOCA.
And welcome back to Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. The Source, broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall, streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. 5 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. It is time for our good friend Galen, Life South Community Blood Centers. Happy Wednesday, my friend.
Hey, what's going on, Adam? How are you today, my man?
Not too bad, buddy. How about you? You doing good?
Yeah, doing well.
Yeah, it's a little foggy out there again this morning, and I left the house a little bit later today, and man, I'm kind of glad that I'm not driving the time that you are, with it being this foggy and how people drive. As like I said, I left the house a few minutes later than I do, and it happened to be in a sweet spot, I guess, where more people get on the road, and I started thinking about the majority of rush hour type times, and with this lower visibility, it makes it a little ominous, my friend. So be careful as you're driving there. And these people in the morning sometimes are nuts.
Yeah, it's fine. It's once you get on the interstate, you're fine.
Yeah, and that's part of it too, and I'm sure you're used to it. And like I said, it's just one of those things where I guess I've beaten the traffic for the majority of the year with doing this and everything else, so it's not like I've had to really put up with a whole lot of it here. And like I said, I know it was just weird this morning. Everybody had every car that I seen on the road or that I passed or that was in front of me, it just seemed to be distracted. And all I kept thinking to myself is like, yep, what a morning to do it when, again, it's so foggy out there. But nonetheless, as be wise, be careful, and keep your proper distance and everything else, because I had a little bit of a close call this morning. But that's how it goes, my friend. And that'll wake you up. That'll get you going for the middle of the week when you have to slam on your brakes for a second. Isn't that right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But like you said, once you get it to the interstate there, then you can keep it moving. And hopefully for the next, month or two or so, like we said yesterday, you won't have the Canadians in your way for the majority of the time. That'll come later as we get more later into the year.
Canada's closed the border basically for people traveling from the United States to Canada.
Yeah.
So I'm all for building a northern wall. I think that's a good place to start. Or just invade it. I'm open to that.
Yeah, I get you, my friend. Well, I tell you what, with that political side note, that'll be a segue into a little bit to discuss with the debate tonight, with the vice presidential debate. And I was going to ask you, first of all, are you going to watch some of it? And second of all, what should the American people look for with it, or anything?
I don't know. I'm not going to watch it. I'll watch some baseball, or that's probably what I'll watch.
Yeah.
I'll just watch baseball. I understand. There's no drama there. There's nobody. Donald Trump makes these debates interesting. There's nothing we don't know about these two individuals. Or really all four of them. They've been in the public for so long.
Right.
So I mean, what are we going to find out about Mike Pence or Kamala Harris?
Yeah. For some people, I ask, kind of like on a side note, they're like, well, it might be boring. Like maybe somebody I talked to said, I think I might watch it just because it might be boring. I feel like I'm doing a little bit of a duty as a citizen to stay a little bit informed, although there's not a whole lot of new information. And without all the drama, it might be a little bit refreshing, aside from the presidential debate that took place a week ago, as I guess if anything, it's something else in the world of politics that's, like you said, a little bit less dramatic, and maybe for some that's a little bit refreshing. Maybe it's a little bit more for those who don't know Harris as much, I guess. But like you said, they both have been in the spotlight of this country for a long time. So yeah, I think nonetheless we're not going to find any new information. And again, it doesn't do anything to sway sides, like you said before in the other election or the other debate, for where we're at this point, coming close to the election. Everybody's pretty much there with their mind made up, and something like this isn't going to sway a vote, is it?
No, they just feel they have to. Again, the ratings will be 10% of what the presidential debate is, so.
Yeah.
Not that important.
Yeah, and they say both need to do their best to help their running mate win in November, while preserving their own chances of competing in the next 4 years. Which, And nonetheless, like we said, it's one of those things that I think I'll tune in for a little bit of it just to catch a little bit in the beginning. But then now it's another 90 minutes, an hour and a half. I don't know if I'll stick out the whole thing. But in the mentioning of baseball in sports, with the Tampa Bay Rays now able to even it out in the American League Division Series against the Yankees, as they were able to get a victory yesterday, 7-5, as their bats came alive yesterday. And now do we have a series? Now does this look like, okay, this could go quite a few more games?
Well, in a 5-game series, it was a must-win for the Rays.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't want to get down 2-0.
Right.
And their bats came alive, and the Yankees starting pitcher, they hyped this guy up like he was the next, greatest pitcher of all time. He was the next Cy Young. And, he got beat around a little bit. So that's going to happen. But again, the Yankees still roared back and had a chance to win that game. So Yankees lineup is just really, really good.
Yeah.
They just are.
Yeah.
And the Astros winning, I don't think that's a shock.
Right. Now 2-0.
They're just a better baseball team. So, the other series we'll kind of see.
Yeah. And as we maybe were thinking, let's see what Miami does. They got beat up pretty good by the Atlanta Braves 9-5 yesterday, as Atlanta takes a 1-0 lead in that series. And you see Miami maybe squeaking out a W at some point in the series, or they might get swept. I think with the way they played yesterday, it was one of those things where it might go. It might be a sweep. I don't know.
No, I think they're done. I think the Marlins are done. I think the Padres are done.
Yeah.
Whether they win one game or not doesn't matter. I just don't see them coming out of the series. Their only chance is to win game one.
Right.
I just don't think it's that good a series. So I think the Astros sweep.
Yep.
And I think the Dodgers sweep because they're just so good.
Yeah.
They're just such a good team from top to bottom. And I think we have an LA and New York World Series when it's all said and done. Now, that said, the Astros seem to play really well against the Yankees.
Yeah, they do.
The Astros are playing good baseball right now. So, again, I don't think either COVID hasn't been an issue. Now that they're in the bubble, they should be pretty locked in. I think it'll be the Yankees and the Dodgers. I kind of thought that at the beginning of the playoffs. I was hoping the Padres would not have to face the Dodgers, but they did.
Right.
Because the Dodgers are the best team in baseball right now.
Yeah. And moving on with that a little bit to still bring about some sports there. The NBA, as the LA Lakers now 3-1 series lead. I think I mentioned to you off air, but do you think one more and it's done, or does Miami have anything left in the tank to get another W up there? And is it one of those things where we're at right now, especially the bubble, and where Miami is as a team and what they've felt so far, that 3-1 sounds impossible to come back?
Yeah, they had they had it in their hands, and then they just whoever was Duncan Robinson was covering, they just said, okay, you go score, and they were and the Heat couldn't switch because Duncan Robinson is such a defensive liability.
Yeah,
he's such a good scorer, moves the ball offensively. He's everything you want. Defensively, he's just a sheer liability. And so that was their offense. And whenever they needed to get a bucket, they gave it to whoever Duncan Robinson was guarding, and that was pretty much the end of the game.
And it was hard.
So, and that's going to be the case because, the Lakers can score. They can move the ball around. LeBron gets every single call. Anything even close. If you touch the guy, it's a foul. And then, and if you don't call it, it's like you've shamed the whole world by not calling a foul for LeBron James. It's sad. It's truly sad. And I know it's a big part of that when I watch the game is how much I just dislike LeBron James and everything that he represents. But my gosh, he's whiny. Even when he gets a call, he's whiny. Oh, he got a call, and they showed it like 8 times. I was like, I'm still waiting for you to show the foul.
Yeah.
And the commentators are like, well, you can see they got a little piece of the body there, and and they're apologizing for him, because you cannot say anything negative about LeBron James, or the world comes crashing down on you that you're a hater, and you don't stand for everything. Look at all the good things he does, and all I can think about is, he started a school. It ended up costing the taxpayers more money than when it started. So I see just a guy who's full of hype, and what really makes me mad is because LeBron James won it. They're going to give this championship all the credit in the world. They're like, oh, it's so hard on him. He had to be in this bubble. He only had 5 people in his entourage instead of his normal 75. I don't know how he dealt with it. And then he's going to sit and he's going to cry after he wins, and he's going to dedicate it to, George Floyd or Breonna Taylor, and you're just going to sit there and go, okay, all right, we get it. We get it. You care more than all of us. Your struggle is so real. You've been put on a pedestal since you were 11 years old. I know. Your life is so hard. So hard. Only having 5 people in your entourage. So difficult. I don't know how you survived it. I just don't. I don't know how he gets through the day.
Oh, good stuff, my friend. Good stuff. Now, I was going to ask
Such a
you.
millennial. Oh, he's so frustrating to watch. He's just so frustrating to watch.
I guess it was asking a lot for Jimmy Butler, right, to put up another 40 points. Does it feel like that's...
there is no chance of that.
Right, and it feels like that's maybe what had to happen for them to maybe get another victory.
I thought Tyler Hero would play better in the series than he has.
Yeah.
And the Heat shoot the ball really well.
Yeah.
It's just the Lakers are, they're a good team. LeBron James is a good player. I'm not taking that away from him. The guy could play basketball. It's everything else that I just can't stand.
Yeah.
So, and I really don't even like the way he plays basketball. So, he's so entitled. Oh, it just drives me nuts.
Anyway, my friend, moving on just a little bit, I did want to, I wanted to take some time to discuss a little bit of any change in news for what you guys got coming up this Friday for Westport playing Vanguard. I know it come out in the Star Banner there yesterday that 110 Westport High students quarantined due to COVID-19, as officials said Tuesday that about 190 students have been quarantined since Friday as a precaution. Is that affecting anything we see with this Friday night's football game?
Yeah, it will. And I've got some information. So what happened is a teacher, 2 teachers tested positive for COVID, and so everyone in their classroom is out.
Oh wow!
They're out for 10 days. They're not allowed to go to school. They have to go to the virtual school. So they have symptoms. They can go and get a negative test. Doesn't matter. They're not allowed to come back to school for 10 days. So those 2 teachers had 4 of the football players. One of them was the starting quarterback. So he's going to be out. Gavin Savino will not play this Friday night. And, they're going against the best team in the county, and the best team in the county for the last 10 years, arguably. So it's going to be a tough road to hoe. And I feel terrible for the kids.
Right.
Because, again, the kids, the threat to the kids, this has always been my argument, the threat to the kids for COVID is 0. When you're talking about a high school football player who's in good shape and is already past the physical, right, doesn't have any heart conditions, doesn't have any other pre-existing conditions, the threat to their life of COVID is 0. It's not point anything. It's 0. And another study came out of Sweden and where they're at in relation to the rest of Europe and the United States, and their death rate is lower than every other country that you compare it to. You know why? They did nothing. They said it's a flu-like virus. We're just going to let it play out. They got herd mentality. They don't wear masks. They're not worried about social distancing, and that they are healthier now because of it. Instead, we keep running from a virus, and we have figured out how to solve it. So if you do get sick, we know how to solve the problem. But instead, we're still running from this virus instead of facing it head on. Yeah. Everybody's, well, the whole thing started with flattening the curve.
Right.
The curve is flat. The curve is not going to go any lower.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not, because not everybody's been exposed to it yet. Everybody will, just like everybody in the world was exposed to SARS. But we ran from it, and that's caused all of our problems.
Yeah.
So, the vaccine's not going to solve anything. There's no difference. There's just not. And so, I feel terrible for the people who have lost their jobs, and for the massive economic impact it's going to have for generations. And I'm glad the president denied that wasteful spending that they were proposing. When you look at where the money was going to go, the $3.1 trillion wasn't going to go to any of us.
Yeah.
It was going to go to governments throughout the country.
Yeah.
And when you look at the massive profits that hospitals have had because of COVID, okay, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something is wrong with that. And I'm glad he denied that, and I just wish we would just move on. You look at the cruise lines,
right?
Shut down again, and the thousands of jobs that impacts. I've got a trip planned to Costa Rica in March. I'm going. Unless they tell me I can't get on the plane, I'm going.
Yeah.
Again, you cannot live your life sheltered and afraid. That's no life to live. It's just not.
And
thankfully, we don't live in one of these cities like Boston or New York where they're still closed.
Yeah, yeah. And again, this odd argument, does a lot of what you're saying change even harder after the election, like some people are assuming, or do you still feel that it just continues on to the rest of the end of the year until a vaccine comes out?
Well, the vaccine. And once the vaccine's out, I don't know how many people are going to take it.
Yeah.
But at least that'll change something. Here we are in Portland. You can't even eat inside of a restaurant. But people are burning that city down night after night after night. I mean, how many more videos do we have to see in Portland before somebody does something? And I read a report where they've arrested the same person 7 times in 2 weeks for rioting. And then they release him the next night. He goes back and does it again. That's insanity. That's insanity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, until the American people, and this is what I've always said, until the American people decide our freedom is more important than this massive government overreach, nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
So, and let's be very, very clear. The government got more powerful and more involved in our day-to-day lives than they ever have before. The government has taken more advantage of this to have that massive government overreach than they did during 9/11. And I didn't think that would ever be possible again.
Right,
I thought 9/11 would be one of those moments like, all right,
right.
We can't give the government that much control over our life.
Exactly.
The way they could spy on us.
And everything that came after, with what was expected for, watching or, viable threats of terrorism and stuff. That's a good point, my friend. And it didn't ever feel like we could get more, like you said, government overreach. And then here we are, which, and that's why it's weird. It's because it's an unexpected, I guess in a way we're like, well, terrorism, everything else that's going on. We understand what they were trying to do, but that did feel like it was an overreach in a way, but it'll never get to that again. And here, it's just kind of like a sideswipe because it has to do with a virus, which we've had before, like we mentioned with H1N1, SARS and all that. But here, like you said, it has happened, and something that we didn't expect, like we said, after September 11th, it couldn't get any more than that, and here it has. That's a great point.
Well, and what makes it worse is, they're giving more government control to some of these positions that aren't even voted on by the public. CDC, we have no input into the CDC.
Yeah.
We have none. It's a pure government branch. We have no insight into that. And what they did is they gave them policing power.
Yeah.
They have the ability to go in and track all of your movements. They can confiscate your phone. Now, whether or not they execute those orders is a different thing. But they have the ability and the authority to do so. And that's very, very scary. Homeland Security has the exact same power now. And again, we really need to be careful of the power that we're giving this government. And again, the $1,500 or $1,200, whatever it is, government handout is to do nothing to quiet the people and say, shut up and take your own money back.
Yeah.
And don't worry, the debt is so big it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
So, you look at how many wars have been fought because the people who owe debt to another country just decide, you know what, I can't pay it anymore. So instead, I'm going to declare war on you, and then I'm going to put a further debt someone else, and just don't worry about it. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
That's what's happened in the history of our country, and it's sad. People are letting it happen, and people are eager to happen because, again, they're giving up they're giving up their freedom for the guise of safety.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it. Wear a mask. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask.
Yeah. As we do move on a little bit, my friend, and the idea of what we can do and what actually does help, and the idea of giving a gift of life and donating blood, especially in these times. Talk a little bit about that, my friend. How has the supply gone? I know we've had some interesting cloudy, wet weather for the weekend, and how's the week been so far here? Now we're on Wednesday.
Yeah, we're doing well. We're having a good week so far. I should say that. We are still not in the greatest position on the planet. We just need more people to get out there, give the gift of life, and donate blood. That's the bottom line. So, again, please just donate blood. Today we're going to be out in the shores, out at the Walmart out there, and we're always on the boulevard at 1607 East Silver Springs Boulevard. We're still in emergency need of everything, but we are having a better week, and hopefully this weather will eventually dry out so we can, have a more stable blood supply. But right now we have about a day and a half of OPAs, which is a lot better than we were at Monday when we had no OPA.
Right.
We're getting there.
And just in hindsight for what we see coming in the future, now this Hurricane Delta, which is now Category 3, it's expected to detensify but then re-intensify and possibly being a major hurricane as it could impact landfall along the Gulf Coast. Now looking at Louisiana as well as even maybe Alabama, Mississippi, and the Florida Panhandle. So with that in mind, too, we encourage you to get out ahead of it and give the gift of life and donate blood just for what we could see happening towards the weekend with this storm and everything else, too. So, Galen, my friend, we appreciate it, buddy, and get safe to where you're going. We look forward to talking at you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, man. Be good.
Bye, buddy. As there you go. Get out there, give the gift of life, and donate blood. Life South Community Blood Centers, our good friend Galen, as we're making our way towards the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour. This segment's brought to you by Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. I'd like to thank them, located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street in Ocala. Any questions on how they're handling the COVID-19 and what they've got in store next for the rest of the year, give them a call with any questions, 352-854-6262. And for Penn Flooring, family-owned and operated Penn Flooring, serving Marion County for well over 30 years. Every bit of their success is to that unrivaled customer service. Full-service flooring company dedicated to finding the best solution for your flooring needs with Experience in both commercial and residential. And you can find them 1201 Southwest 17th Street in Ocala, 352-351-3420. That's 351-3420. More AM Ocala Live coming your way. We're back after this. WOCA The Source, WOCA Ocala.
News. I'm Chris Foster. Vice President Pence and Senator Kamala Harris debate tonight. Joe Biden says if President Trump is still infected with COVID, they should not hold their second debate next Thursday.
I don't know what his status is. I'm looking forward to being able to debate him, but I just hope all the protocols are followed, which is necessary at the time.
The president on Twitter writes he's looking forward to the debate in Miami. Also tweeting he wants all Russia probe documents declassified with no redactions.
Notes written by former CIA Director John Brennan after he briefed then President Obama read in one summarized part, quote, alleged approved by Hillary Clinton a proposal from one of her foreign policy advisors to vilify Donald Trump by stirring up a scandal claiming interference by the Russian security service. Brennan calling the release of the documents a political move.
Fox's Marianne Rafferty. America's listening to Fox
News. Wouldn't it be great if everything came with more? Like if your new computer came with unlimited tech support. When you choose a Medicare plan from United Healthcare, you get more. Like plans that have dental and vision coverage, plus hearing coverage. Call United Healthcare at 1-800-364-1360 to get Medicare with more. Remember, Medicare annual enrollment ends December 7th.
Benefits and availability may vary by plan and location. More plans based on a year-over-year comparison of United Healthcare plans.
An important message from Medicare.
You know how Medicare plans can change from year to year?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this coming year, premiums are at historic lows.
Really?
Yeah, and hundreds of plans will have insulin for just $35 a month.
That will save some money. Can't wait to look at my plan choices for 2021.
Open enrollment begins October 15th and ends December 7th.
Comparing plans really pays.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Hey, you want to spend a delightful fall morning? Then come on out and enjoy the color in 5.5 acres at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. How about these great deals this week at Bob Wine's? You can get 6 nice garden-sized mums, mix or match them for just $29.99. And plenty of larger ones are available. Check out the truckload azalea sale. Sure, Bob has those dwarf ever-blooming red ruffles. They're just $3.99. But there's a whole lot of larger blooming azaleas that we're selling for up to $19.99. Now listen, they're just $7.99 while they last. And yes, blooming fall annuals get a flat for just $19.99. Don't forget trees. You buy one and you get one just like it for half price. Check BobWinesCameliaGardens.net, then head on out to Southeast 38th Street, Ocala. They're open till 4:30 Monday through Friday, till 3:30 on Saturday in the same blooming place since 1952.
The NFL Alumni is sponsoring a Clay for Kids sporting event to benefit Champions for Champions. The event will take place at the Robinson Ranch in Inglis, Florida on Saturday, October 24th. Call 866-996-2182 for details. The NFL Alumni will provide gift bags, breakfast, lunch, and prizes. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Clay for Kids. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Hosted by the NFL Alumni.
Pals Ocala Auto Repair fixes all makes and models. Pals makes sure that your vehicle's engine, mechanical, and electrical components are healthy at all times. Pals team would much rather see you drive to their shop for a full checkup than be towed in for a complex repair. Give Pals a call today to schedule your next service appointment. 352-414-2984. What? A nationwide warranty, 36 months or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first? Pals looks forward to servicing you and servicing your vehicle. 352-414-2984.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
2 Men in a Truck.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. In addition to our pasture mowing and tractor services, including zero-turn mowers for your fence line finish, we also offer rototilling and fence row spraying. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Gene, Gene, @yahoo.com, 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
There's a staycation right here in town. It's Super 8 Motel Ocala, right down the road on 40 just west of I-75. And they're pet friendly. Have truck parking. Free breakfast.
Yum, yum.
A swimming pool. A kiddie pool. And veterans get 10% off. It's a staycation at Super 8 Ocala. Call today, Super 8 Ocala at 352-629-8794. Again, 352-629-8794.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Well, the mix of clouds and sunshine today with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm and a high of 88 to 92. Cloudy and humid tonight, lows 76 to 78. Then Wednesday will be mostly cloudy and humid with a couple of showers in the afternoon and a high of 89 to 91. Humid on Thursday, very cloudy. Look for a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon and a high of 88 to 92. Thunderstorm around Friday afternoon as well, high 88 to 92.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
WOCA, putting the local back into radio.
The NFL alumni is sponsoring a Clay for Kids sporting event to benefit Champions for Champions. The event will take place at the Robinson Ranch in Inglis, Florida on Saturday, October 24th. Call 866-996-2182 for details. The NFL alumni will provide gift bags, breakfast, lunch, and prizes. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Clay for Kids. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Hosted by the NFL alumni. WOCA.
Ocala.
back to the show, AM Ocala Live. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I'm your host, Adam Mikulin. We say good morning to you. It's creeped up in temperature just a bit. 76 degrees out there now, as some of it's starting to lift with a little bit of the patchy fog at some areas. Dense fog in some, as we do say, be careful out there, as we're expecting a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms for today, as some of the areas yesterday in northern Marion County got a little bit of rain in the afternoon and a little bit of thunderstorm, as I know it was more of the north part of the county. But like I said, when we see 40%, anything that's less than 50%, it's almost like somewhere in Marion County is going to get some rain somewhere at some time, as at least 40% of the coverage area is how I sometimes see it. But nonetheless, it's going to be a warm one today, as we can see basically highs of 90s today with the humidity. It might even pull the heat index closer to 100 today with, like we said, slight chance of showers and thunderstorms between even earlier than what it was yesterday, with the idea of noon and 1 p.m. As all this moisture in the air has got to do something. It's got to go somewhere. That bleeds into tonight with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms before 8 p.m. and then a slight chance of showers between 8 p.m. and then 9 p.m. And then they say patchy fog again tomorrow morning, and that'll begin after 3 a.m. And then tomorrow, we see that same 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, but this time maybe even a little earlier, between 10 a.m. and noon. So there you go, with the highs for Thursday, Friday, and leading into your weekend, Saturday and Sunday, all near the upper 80s into the 90s. So very warm for the rest of the week, and lows down in the pretty much the low 70s. As we get to Saturday night, it's still fairly warm and muggy. Now, with all of this, the segue into what we've seen so far, keeping you up to date with the information that's coming through on Hurricane Delta, as it has made landfall this morning as a Category 2 hurricane along the Yucatan. However, as Delta made landfall as a Category 2 along the northeastern coast of the Yucatan Peninsula near Puerto Morelos as early as Wednesday morning, it was this morning, the storm is expected to target parts of the Gulf Coast later this week. After estimated wind peaks of 145 miles per hour on Tuesday evening, the NOAA Hurricane Hunters missions found that Delta's winds were now at 110 as it made landfall this Wednesday morning. However, a hurricane warning is in place for parts of the Yucatan, even the city of Cancun, so on and so forth, as it was a little bit of a nasty weak form already with Gamma, the tropical storm Gamma that was on the heels of it, as that brought quite a bit of rain and everything else as it made landfall there in Mexico. Taking advantage of the warm waters, though, they see Delta intensifying and going from what we saw as the tropical storm to a hurricane in the same day, then becoming the Category 3 hurricane in the 24-hour period that it had. And now, as it's moved, downgraded to Category 2. But after moving through the Caribbean, it's expected to enter the Gulf of Mexico and turn northward. After weakening a bit after its landfall with Mexico, they say it'll strengthen again. And the threat of dangerous storm surge, flooding, rain, strong wind on the Gulf Coast. Residents along the Gulf Coast, they say, from anywhere between East Texas and even the Florida Panhandle, should continue to monitor the forecast and prepare for the possibility of a landfall with the hurricane later this week. With that in mind, the 2020 hurricane season is currently tied with 1916 Atlantic hurricane season for the most continental U.S. named storm landfalls, as in a season of record 9 landfalls. Delta has a forecast to make landfall with the Central Gulf later this week, as mentioned. Now, even though the spaghetti models are in good agreement about Delta's path into the Gulf of Mexico, there's still a high amount of uncertainty of the both eventual track and intensity as it gets closer to the Gulf Coast. And the National Hurricane Center points that its average track error for 4 days out is about 150 miles. Now, even so, a lot of the spaghetti models right now are playing on the idea that the intensity will increase to Category 3 again, and then maybe even Category 4, and may lessen just before it makes landfall. And right now, the projected spaghetti models have the most of the majority of landfall impact for the state of Louisiana. With that being mentioned, Louisiana Governor said yesterday, John Bel Edwards declared the state of emergency for Louisiana on Tuesday, saying, quote, "Today I declare the state of emergency in advance of Hurricane Delta, which is forecast to make landfall in South Louisiana on Friday or Saturday." So a lot to keep our eye on there, and as we find out a little bit more, we'll keep you up to date and all that good stuff. And it's the only second time the Atlantic hurricane season has dipped into the Greek alphabet. We made it all the way to Zeta, which is the 6th letter in the Greek alphabet, in the historic 2005 season. So we're not done yet. We could possibly see that has happened as it could. 8:44 as we're making our way now through the 8 o'clock hour. Stay tuned. We got more good show coming your way as we're going to welcome On Top of the World at the top of the 9 o'clock hour, so stay tuned for that. And a lot of good stuff still coming your way. Now it is time for your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. And with that in mind about the hurricane, Governor Ron DeSantis says Panhandle residents need to keep an eye on Hurricane Delta.
If you're in Northwest Florida, we want you to continue to take a look at it. The rest of Florida, it looks like it's not going to be any type of threat. It's been moving further west, and so if that track holds, then you'd probably see modest impacts in places like Pensacola.
As the Category 3 storm is expected, like we said, to weaken before coming ashore along the Gulf Coast. The period to register to vote in Florida in the November 3rd election is now over. As announced by Governor Ron DeSantis, the state provided extra time to sign up yesterday to make up for the Florida's online voter registration system crash that happened just the day before.
So providing as many opportunities as possible and also providing the similar time frame from when we were experiencing the difficulties yesterday.
And Secretary of State Laurel Lee says there will be an investigation to ensure that the crash was not a deliberate act against the voting process. Florida's coronavirus death toll is up by 55 additional fatalities. The Florida Department of Health is reporting more than 2,200 new cases. Orange County Sheriff is extremely concerned about a new order issued by the state attorney. Aramis Ayala has said yesterday that those accused of resisting arrest without violence can now be entered into a diversion program to get charges dismissed. Sheriff John Mina says that the new directive could cause confusion, and he wishes the attorney had talked to him before announcing it. The stretch of road in northeast Miami-Dade County after slain teen Trayvon Martin, northeast 16th Avenue between Ives Dairy Road and northeast 209th Street, will be called Trayvon Martin Avenue. Neighborhood Watch George Zimmerman was acquitted after fatally shooting Martin back in 2012. In sports, the Los Angeles Lakers held off the Heat in the fourth quarter of a 102-96 win in Game 4 of the NBA Finals in Orlando. LeBron James piled up 28 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists for the Los Angeles Lakers, which now takes a commanding lead 3-1. But Heat center Bam Adebayo says they're not giving up.
Our backs are against the wall. It's not like it's never been done before. And, we still got hope. We're still going to fight to the end, start to finish.
Game 5 is Friday night as the Tampa Bay Rays hit 4 home runs in their 7-5 win over the New York Yankees over in San Diego to even the American League Division Series at 1 game apiece. However, the Miami Marlins dropped their first game in the National League Division Series to the Atlanta Braves 9-5. For your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. We'll be back right after this.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
WOCA, putting the local back into radio.
The NFL Alumni is sponsoring a Clay for Kids sporting event to benefit Champions for Champions. The event will take place at the Robinson Ranch in Inglis, Florida on Saturday, October 24th. Call 866-996-2182 for details. The NFL Alumni will provide gift bags, breakfast, lunch, and prizes. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Clay for Kids. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Hosted by the NFL Alumni. WOCA.
Ocala.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to.
Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
The Wolfpack improved to 2-0 with a win against the North Marion Colts. As they work from our left to our right, they're going to put Buster in motion down in the flats. Savino fakes the handoff. He's under pressure, rolls out.
Throw it.
He's got to throw it, and he does, and it is caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Buster Barnes. This week, Westport takes on the class of Marion County, the Vanguard Knights, who handled their county rival to start the season at 1-0. Pre-game starts at 6:30 and kickoff is at 7. It's the Wolfpack against the Knights this Friday, and it's all live right here on 96.3 FM and 1370 AM, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
To the show. You're listening to AIM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. Broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall. We're streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. Moving right along with our Wednesday show for this hump day, October 7th. As we've been mentioning a little bit about the weather here and there with the change of the times. This says after spending so much time indoors this year, the last thing we want to do is retreat back inside. Well, the beauty of this warm weather for the fall and the comfortable weather that we have to sit on the back patio and all that good stuff, as the temperature dips just a bit, fall is the best time of the year to soak up the outdoor space. And with that in mind, we have lifestyle expert Dave Sinclair available to share us some tips on some great backyard boosters. Dave, glad to have you on this morning.
Adam, great to be on the air with you guys. Ocala, beautiful horse country. I love it. You got to watch your speed a little bit going down the roads in Ocala, but
that's true.
You're known for that a little bit, but that's it. I love the city. I love it. It's great to be on the air with you guys. Thanks so much.
Absolutely, absolutely, my friend. And with that energy, we carry in the idea of kind of actually we had the temperature change last week that felt like a season change, and it was a little bit more tolerable to be outside. We got back to some humidity this week here. However, we know that once we get more and more through October and out of this hurricane season and stuff, it's going to feel more comfortable to be outside and do a few things. And that's why we brought you on today to talk a little bit about what we can do outdoors.
It gets better from here on out, right? Those brutal, oppressive, triple-digit heat indexes, those are gone for the most part. So we're good to go. So fall, or so we like to call it second spring. And to me, my favorite thing for this time of year, Adam, get outside, do some landscaping, and work on that back door area. Get some work done outside. Look, it's good for you physically, it's good for you mentally, and it relieves some of that 2020 stress and anxiety, because we got too much of that going on right now, right?
Absolutely.
So, it's good for your home, it's good for you, and Lowe's has everything you need for creating a cool backyard grill area or redoing your back porch or whatever you'd like to take on. during those nice, pleasant fall temperatures.
Absolutely, and I've been encouraging a lot of folks that, and even at the mornings being so much more cooler now that we can actually enjoy our cup of coffee on the back patio and all that good stuff. But even that in mind, it's trying to make the, whether it be the back patio or the deck area or even the lawn itself, just look a little bit more appealing, right? To be able to do a little DIY stuff out there in the lawn to make everything look a little bit more, compatible for the space, I guess you might add.
Yeah, and as far as drinking your coffee on the back porch, the big trend this year, Adam, is going to be backyard refreshes.
Yeah.
So here's what you do. Look, we're spending more time than ever in our homes this year, so let's go ahead and capitalize on that with the backyard. First thing I recommend for a backyard are string lights. String lights really create a warm, inviting atmosphere. It's a whole vibe when you get that backyard lit up, right? So get your backyard lights up. It's very inexpensive. And from there, you can get some patio furniture. Want to make sure we have the grill out there, Adam. We like to grill year-round in Ocala. Am I right?
That's right.
Got to get the grill going. So now we have the dining and entertainment aspect all covered out there. And to me, this outdoor space is way better than being in the living room. 100%. So whether it's football games or sporting events or movies or a little party, whatever, there's nothing like an outdoor space as opposed to being cooped up inside. A crisp fall night in Ocala with your loved ones, that's about as good as it gets. So get that backyard refresh, get the back porch redone, get that whole living area going, and then to complete it, I think a little hint of color, maybe put some mums out there. Mums are the perfect fall flower, and that's going to just complete that backyard paradise. But there you go, backyard refresh. You should be good to go.
Absolutely. So there's some ways to create the prime setups for that back patio. What about fall activities other than just the cohorting for maybe some sporting events and maybe for dinner? What else you got?
I got a fire pit. How's that?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. And not just any fire pit. Well, first of all, fire pits, kids love the s'mores, right? But they have fire pits at Lowe's that actually are a fire pit / coffee table. So
awesome.
it's a multitasking fire pit, Adam. Is the way it goes. So you can use it as a coffee table, but then it becomes a fire pit. So as far as the fire part of it goes, you can go traditional wood burning, or Lowe's has do-it-yourself fire pit kits, in which case you can customize the fire pit to whatever you'd like. So fire pit is a great addition to the backyard. So we've got the backyard taken care of now. Can we talk about the rest of your lawn now?
Absolutely.
So for the rest of your lawn, first of all, cut the grass. Hey, don't be the neighbor. There's always one neighbor where you and your significant other drive by, and you say, what is that? What are they, trying to grow the grass over the car? Take care of your lawn, guys. Mow the grass. Simple enough, right? Mow the grass, throw some fertilizer on there if you'd like. But also, a very cool kind of like secret weapon for bringing new life to your lawn this fall is laying down fresh mulch. When you lay down fresh mulch, it's brilliantly colored, right? And it contrasts with the green of the grass. It just brings like a visual explosion, like a pop to your lawn. It's really, really a simple, convenient way and very inexpensive to just do a visual overhaul of your lawn. It works really, really well. While on the subject of lawn, the #1 battery-powered brand Ego is now available at Lowe's. This stuff is great. It's battery-powered, push mower and leaf blowers and Ego products starting as low as $129. So one last thing, Adam. Halloween's coming up.
Yeah.
I'm thinking some inflatables from Lowe's in the front yard. So, and with Halloween decorations, we want to think Happy Halloween, Festive Halloween, Happy Ghost, Smiling Skeletons. Don't go down that dark path. There's always someone. There's always someone that does the inappropriate Halloween decorations. Just cool, appropriate, Happy Halloween inflatable type products over at Lowe's. So backyard refresh, landscaping, Halloween, whatever you want to take on, your one-stop shopping for all this is Lowe's and Lowe's.com.
Absolutely. Dave Sinclair, we appreciate it. From the backyard refreshes for string lights, even getting that new grill, and even something simple as the flowers for the space this time of year with some mums. And like you mentioned, just the simplistic idea of just laying some new mulch down, getting that refreshed. I like it, my friend. Well, we appreciate the time, and you guys have a great rest of the week. We definitely appreciate it.
Adam, thanks so much. Take care.
You got it. WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. More coming your way. Back after this.
Foster. A few hours after announcing he was ending negotiations over more coronavirus financial relief, President Trump gets back on Twitter to say he does want some.
The president says he's willing to sign legislation sending another round of $1,200 stimulus checks to some Americans and approve aid to the airline industry and money for the Paycheck Protection Program for small businesses.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. The Nobel Prize in Chemistry is shared by Jennifer Doudna of the University of California, Berkeley, and a French scientist, Emmanuel Charpentier, for their work developing the gene editing technique known as CRISPR.
Nobel selectors acknowledge editing genes can be controversial.
But it's equally clear that this is a technology, a method that will provide humankind with great opportunities.
Doudna and Charpentier are only the 6th and 7th women to win the prize.
Fox's Simon Owen. America's listening to Fox News.
Wouldn't it be great if everything came with more? Like if your new computer came with unlimited tech support. When you choose a Medicare plan from United Healthcare, you get more. Like plans that have dental and vision coverage, plus hearing coverage.